Alright, welcome to Adobe Premiere Pro. Today we're going to be taking a look at this industry-leading software. We're going to go over some of the basic tools such as the razor tool as well as some of the panels to get you familiar with the layout and where things are. So let's go ahead and open this. First thing I'm going to do is click this to make it full screen. Click New Project. We're going to title this Intro to Premiere. Alright, and right off the bat, it'll have this preset interface. So there's 4 windows currently. This first one on the left is your source window. This second one on the right is your program window. And here at the bottom, it'll be your project window. This is where your project files will all be. This is kind of like your little bin of assets, if you will. So your audio, photos, anything you're going to use in your video is going to be in this bottom left corner under the project tab. And then if you move over to the right, there's going to be this column of a bunch of tools. And then if you move over to the right again, we're going to be on the timeline. Now this timeline is where you trim, lengthen, and edit audio and video clips. And then if you move over to the right again, there will be this little bar with little yellow on the bottom. This is your audio volume. This is your volume over here on the right. And then if we go back up to the top, there's going to be this little Workspaces tab. If you click on this Workspaces, there's a bunch of preset workspaces. We're going to go ahead and go through all of them real quick. Essentials, and they're all going to look different. Again, once you get accustomed to Premiere Pro, what you use, what you don't use, you're going to want to change these. This is what Essentials looks like. Vertical is great for editing vertical video content. It sets up the vertical workspace very nicely. Let's go ahead and go down to Learning. This one's also very great if you're a beginner. There'll be tutorials on the left on how to use some of the projects and the tools and the assets and everything. They really cover it all here. Let's go down to Assembly. Now Assembly is going to do exactly that. It's going to make your project window bigger so you can see all of your assets and you can choose what you want to drag onto your timeline. So all of these are useful in their own time. So you could start off with Assembly and then go over to the editing, and then this makes your timeline bigger and your source window bigger so you could see what you're doing when you edit a clip and cut out parts you do not want. Now, working this way from assembly to editing into color to effects to audio, this is known as a workflow. So continuing down this workflow, we're going to go down to color. Now, assuming you've already edited your clip, you will probably more than likely lastly apply some color or color correct depending on what you shot. So this is going to give you more color options such as lumetri scopes, which is just telling you where your color ranges are. Other than that, it's going to maintain some of the essential functions such as the program window, the timeline, and the project window. On the right will be more color options. Nothing's here because we don't have a clip imported, so it can't read anything, but this is where it would be. So let's go ahead and go down to effects. And on the effects, we're going to maintain the same area again as the project, timeline, and program window. But we're going to have this new tab on the right where there's going to be a bunch of effects. There's some presets, audio effects, video effects, transitions, anything that you could add to a video fast and easy is going to be over here. Now there's also a bunch of MOGRTs, which are motion graphic effects, which are just presets of 2D animations essentially. These could be title sequences, they could be anything really. Could even be emojis. Now it's gonna have a bunch of these other options such as essential sound, lumetri color, libraries, and then the history, marker, and info. You don't need to memorize any of this. We're going to keep going down this list, and next is audio. So audio is going to have a little mixer and a couple different options for the mixer. And then on the right is going to be some essential sound. This is for sound mixing, sound correcting, if there's some bad sound, getting the high frequencies, low frequencies out, etc. But there's also a way to find some stock sound. So if you're looking for some stock sound from Adobe, I believe they implemented that, so you could just find it over here on the right as well. And then you're going to go down to captions and graphics. Now, this is exactly what we went over earlier. This is the motion graphics portion. And a lot of these, you don't have to go into the individual tab. A lot of these tabs overlap, but some of these tabs make it easier to get what you're looking for faster. And then we're going to skim through these. There's the review, libraries, text-based editing, all panels, and then all these other ones. And then you could save, edit, or reset to your saved layout. So if you accidentally mess something up and you're like, how do I go back to my first original layout? You're going to want to go here to reset to saved layout or to your last layout that you liked. Now we're going to go back to editing tab, and then we're going to go over here to the left in this project window. Now within this project window there's a few different more tabs. There's the media browser, libraries, info, effects, and markers and history. All you really need to know is that the effects tab is here. The info tab gives you info on your video, such as frame rate, aspect ratio, and the project window contains all of your files. That is all you need to know in this tab. If we go down, there's you can create bins, which is like grouping, and then you could add a new item, an item such as black video, adjustment layers, anything else really, transparent video. A lot of the times I will add an adjustment layer to video things I am editing. Sometimes this disappears if this is dragged too far to the left. So if you drag it too far to the left like that, it's going to disappear. So if you're ever wondering where did that option go, you just have to drag this back out, and then it's back. Okay, moving down these tools, this is the selection tool. This is how you move clips around on your timeline. Now, we're not going to go over all these tools because you're only going to need very few of them in this class. So the ripple delete tool is just to delete the dead space in between the two clips. This is useful if you're cutting a lot of clips and you need to get rid of that empty space very frequently. Razor tool is exactly what you think it would do. It cuts clips or audio. Now, slip tool you're not going to use very frequently. Pen tool you may use when you get into masking, but for now we're going to leave this alone. Same as the rectangle tool and the hand tool, we're going to ignore all of these. Next is the type tool. Now the type tool is exactly what you think it is as well. It's how you add text to video. This will pull up a whole nother list of options with the text, so you'll be able to adjust formatting, font, color, etc. Anything you think you could do with text. Once you start using the text tool, it'll have a pop-up for you to adjust all of these in Premiere Pro. Other than that, you are pretty much set. This is everything you need to know. In the top here is your 3 main tabs, such as import, so you could import new clips such as this one, or you could export your finished project, or you could go back to edit and continue. Right below this is the source window. This is where you'll preview your clips, but there's also 3 more tabs, such as effects controls, which is where you could adjust some additional effects, audio clip mixer, you could adjust the audio, and then metadata, which just tells you information about your file that you're working on. Okay, and then up here at the top is just more options, markers, sequence settings, file, if you want to create a new project, new production, sequence, whatever you want to do. But this is also how you save your project if you're looking to save a project. And that is pretty much it. That is the complete information you need to be a beginner in Adobe Premiere Pro. That was a lot of information all thrown at you at once, but that is the basics of what you'll be doing. It does go more in depth than this, and we'll get more into that, but for now, just rewatch this video a couple of times, get used to where everything is, and then in no time you'll be able to find everything whenever you need it. And that's the main thing about mastering Premiere Pro, is learning where the tools are and how to use these tools. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.